Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're answering the question, should you put a rooftop tent on your Volkswagen Vanagon? This video is pretty much aimed at anybody who's trying to not only convert their tin top camper or add extra bed space, but also for people that are trying to weigh the options between buying a Westphalia and buying a tin top and adding a rooftop tent to it. And I think this is a pretty relevant question going on today. Is a rooftop tent even a good idea? So I thought we'd take some time today to not only take out the roof tent and put it away so you can see all that's involved with that, but also to kind of discuss the pros and cons so that you can make an informed decision. Alright, so here we are outside with my Vanagon, Karmann Vandiego. I have a CVT Mount Shasta roof tent installed on top. I want to point out before we go any further in this video, two things. I won this roof tent in a contest. I paid no money for it. And two, I am not being paid by CVT in any way. We're gonna take this out, you're gonna see how it comes out, entry, exit, how much room there is, and see if the utility works for you and your situation. I also want to point out real quick, keep in mind that I am 6'4". I think it's also important to point out I have a porch built up here that makes getting up on top of the van and doing all of this much easier than the recommended Yakima bars. I don't see how it would be possible if you could not climb on top and do all of this. All right, so as you can see, we have it pulled out, which in and of itself is kind of a hassle, but there are additional steps. All of the rain flies have spring metal poles. I cannot imagine doing this without a ladder if I wasn't this tall. Just something to keep in mind if you're considering this for your Vanagon. All right, so as I said before, we got these spring metal poles, and they have to be attached here on the rain fly, and then sprung into place. I'm not gonna lie, that takes a little bit of muscle. Whew. Okay, so the setup took about 10 minutes according to the camera's clock, which isn't too bad. I mean, if you need extra bed space and you have a tin top, you can't really beat having the extra room if you have a step stool or you're tall enough to do all this. All right, so now since we got it all set up, why don't you just come on up, take a look. If you think that setting this thing up looked like a nightmare, just wait until we put it down. All right. So I know what you're thinking. Gosh, he's so critical. He's never happy! But here's where the negative stuff ends and the good stuff starts. The tent is pretty awesome. It is mattress wall to wall. It came with a light, and that has a plug that goes all the way down into the car. This thing does stay ridiculously warm at night without even having a heater. Having entrances on both ends makes it pretty convenient in this setup. However, I'm not sure how you would really utilize both entrances in the normal side-to-side setup unless you had an extra ladder. One of the really cool things that the kids love is that it did come with skylights, so they can open this up and look at the stars at night while they're camped out. And it has some pretty nice pockets for knickknacks and whatnot to keep your cell phone and your keys safe from falling into the depths unknown. Not the depths unknown! The material is also pretty rugged, not your standard Coleman tent stuff. This stuff seems like it's going to hold up for a number of opening and closing sequences. One thing's for sure, if you do put this on the top of your Vanagon, you should definitely have some kind of rack built or build it yourself. Having a porch on the back makes this thing so much more usable because once you get up here, you can put your shoes out back and they're underneath the rain fly, dry, and not in here. Alright, so since we're pretty much done in here, let's climb down and we will fold this thing up and you will see how this thing seems like it might be just a little bit more of a nightmare to put away than it was to take out in the first place. Alright, so now that we've done setup and a quick inside tour, let's go ahead and put this thing away. Whew, I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm hot. Let's go inside and talk about this. Alright, so as you can see, taking out and putting away the roof tent can be an extreme hassle on something that tall. But let's not totally focus on that. Let's talk about a couple of pros and cons that I've come up with that I think will help you make an informed decision on your roof tent purchase. Alright, I'm a pretty optimistic guy, so how about we start with pros? Oh, thank God he started with pros. Alright, so for pros, number one, we got easily added bed space. This is something you can take out of the box, bolt to your van, and pretty much have another bed. Not to mention, it is comfortable. I mean, it comes with a mattress, it's easy to sleep on, but this thing does not come without cons. I mean, there are quite a few of them. Number one con, and I know that you're thinking it, because everybody thinks it, this thing is a parachute. If you thought you had trouble going up hills before, count this thing out, because you will be hitting third gear an awful lot, and even hitting highway speeds at times can be challenging. Another serious con would be price. Now, I explained before, I did win this in a contest for free, but if I paid full purchase price on it, this thing costs about $1,700 when it was new. And to be honest, that would make these cons seem way more serious to me if I had actually spent the money. And I think really a third con here, and this is the last one I'm going to go with, is don't need to pee. Have you ever had to get up in the middle of the night needing to pee and have to worry about falling 8 feet to the ground? Alright guys, well I hope this was informative for you. I hope that you got something out of it and hope you can make your decision a little bit easier. If you like the content, make sure and you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.